morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today we're going to be talking about Raid Boss Revival, kind of the farming strategies that you can employ for soloing it. So we're going to be taking a look at a bunch of different units for both high difficulty and one for brutal, and I'm going to show you guys a brutal that I'm kind of working and fine-tuning right now, just so you can get an idea of how to kind of do this, how to go about getting units set up, and to farm this event. Let's go ahead and dig in. Also, full apology for everyone that I said that Tifa was able to solo the brutal difficulty. I think the high difficulty is what that information was pertaining to, so I do apologize for mixing that up. That being said, though, Tifa can solo a lot of high difficulty boss battles, and we are going to get into that in just a little bit. Probably the formation most people are interested in is the Summer Elsirelle Ifrit formation that I run. You can solo the brutal. We are talking about the brutal Ifrit right now with Summer Elsirelle. This is the formation that I run with her. She doesn't use bells. I have pretty much nothing turned off. You do have to have her 120. I bet you could have her 115. I bet it doesn't matter that much. You can see here I have Magic up, Fire Spirit's Blessing. It's important to have Reactive Force on. Revitalize is going to be turned on, but she won't use it. Mega Flare's turned on, she won't use it. Dreamy Typhoon, I turn this off because it consumes a lot of AP, and AP is a very valuable resource whenever you are setting up any solo formations for these raids, whether you're doing high difficulty or brutal. AP is vital. It's a coveted resource. I have seen some people say, you know, Diggs, why don't you put Death Machine on her and then you could get 100% fire resistance? And that's probably true. I'm at 82% fire resistance right now, but I didn't need it, and I wanted the little oomph from having Bahamut on her, so that's why I didn't do that. Let's go ahead and I will show you the Ifrit Brutal here and just how it works. It's pretty easy. There is some flex room in terms of, you know, how it's going to work, how it's going to function. You could, like I said, you could probably be level 115. You could probably not have the water ring and put on like a fire resistant TMR and some other piece of gear in your other slot. What really matters though is just that you're being AP conscious. You're coming in here and you have that fire resist on her. And that's probably the most important thing, because, you know, I tried doing this with Moore. My Moore is 120, and attempting to do this with Moore versus attempting to do this with Summer Elsirelle was exponentially more difficult. And I probably could fine-tune Moore to work for this, but Summer Elsirelle has just been so much better. You can see even on her regular hits, when she's just regular hitting, she's gonna hit for 4k, 5k. Her counter is really important. That reactive force is like a free 5k damage. And you can see Ifrit's already down below half HP, so she is just wrecking him. She's well above her HP threshold, and she's just going to go through here and decimate him. So if you guys do have Summer Elsirelle 120, this is probably the safest way to farm for raid tokens, probably the fastest as well. So if you do want to farm only the raid tokens and not necessarily the other raid items, this is what a lot of people are going to be doing, and this is what a lot of people did over on the JP side as well. You can see you get 1,500 tokens from this, and you'll get a lot of the other materials here. However, a lot of people are going to want to farm the other events for the other drops, right? And that's inevitable. And so of course you're going to want to farm some of the high difficulties. You could do like Raid Boss Revival Brutals with friends. No doubt it would be easy to put together formations that can clear it. My Tifa has, you know, gotten about 75% of the way through the brutal chocolate flan. My Vinera, I'll actually show you my Vinera later towards the end of this video, can actually get the white flan down to about 10,000 HP. So I do think there may be a way that Vinera will be able to solo the brutal flan. I just haven't figured it out yet. I also don't have Vinera's VC, so I think that could be one of the key points, because as you're doing this and as you're setting up compositions, one of the most important things is that your units are able to land critical hits, because in a lot of these matches your units are not going to have the opportunity to use bells. There's like some few situations where they can, specifically in the King Behemoth map and on the White FLAN map, but most of the time they're not going to use bells, so you need to land those critical hits in order to gain more AP, because you gain more AP from critical hits, so that you can kind of continue to deal damage. Let's go ahead and show off a couple of Tifa clears here. Leela, of course, we're going to do Chocolate FLAN. I will show off my Leela clear. I think Leela is probably one of the easiest clears as well. Even if your Leela gets charmed, she'll be fine on Chocolate FLAN. So if you do have a Halloween Leela, you could farm Chocolate FLAN pretty easily. My Tifa is at 120. This is kind of where she's at right now. She has Zongan Martial Arts set, Shadowrunner set, Paladin Guard set. You might want to set Counter Chakra for her if you are trying to do some stuff, so I'll set Counter Chakra. You'll want to make sure Revitalize is on. Heaven's Wind you want to have on. I'm running Tetrasilphid with her. The reason I'm running Tetrasilphid is because Tetrasilphid has Aquatic Killer in her kit, so you can get Aquatic Killer, Wind Attack, and gosh, I can't remember what the other one is, Earth Eater as well, I believe. So you can actually, you know, Tetrasilphid, if you're doing Chocolate FLAN, can actually get up there really high with Tifa. Tifa also has Charm Resistance for the Chocolate FLAN, which makes her really good. And then we are running the crit-based White Marshmallow miniature on her, just so that we can take her in to do the White Marshmallow raid as well. In terms of kind of what I have on and off for her, I have turned off some things, so I have everything turned on except for Omni Strike. She tends to spam Omni Strike, and I don't like it. I wish she would use some of her other moves. I also turned Overpower off, because a lot of the times she will use Overpower instead of using a buff. So if you turn off kind of all of her moves, she will be forced to use Unparalleled Strength or Revitalize on some of the maps. And then I do have Focus Strike on, Dive Kick on, and Unyielding Strike on. You could turn this off, though, because it's not necessary. She hasn't been using it, though. I do run Shadowrunner. The reason I run Shadowrunner is because she gets more damage from having herself loop. So with this setup on Tifa, I have successfully killed King Behemoth, White Marshmallow, and Chocolate FLAN. And we're going to go ahead and show off the Chocolate FLAN and the White Marshmallow kills here. And then I'll kind of talk about how you could use Vinera to kill White FLAN as well. It's been pretty much a lot of fun just kind of finding different solo builds for this raid, so that, you know, depending on if you have different units, you will be able to make this work as well. So you'll see Tifa will come in here, deal some kills, hit some damage. And of course, every time Tifa hits, it would be nice if Tifa melee killed that slime. But, you know, it is what it is. She's coming in here, and now she's just going to take on the slime. Now, a couple things here to note. Tifa is on a higher elevation than the slime, which is actually a really good thing, because that actually gives you an enhanced critical hit rate on your character when you do have an elevation over the opponent. So Tifa does have an enhanced critical hit rate here, and she's just going to go in and beat up this FLAN. And she's going to clear it up pretty quickly here. You can see she'll even land stun, which is pretty nice. And then, of course, the Esper landing the, you know, the Esper is really nice because it gives that buff to Tifa's damage too. So that's the Chocolate FLAN solo. The White FLAN solo is a little more complicated because you have kind of different monsters in different positions. So you do want to make sure you have, remember I said that Overpower could ruin things if you have a unit in the wrong slot. That is kind of what I was referring to, especially with the White FLAN. However, the White FLAN is a mission where you are able to reliably get bells off. So you will actually be able to reliably get bells off here. Now, the difference between now and earlier when I was running this is my Tifa did hit 120. So I'm kind of curious how her 120 2 range 2 strike attack is going to affect this right now. I think she'll probably be fine. Usually what you'll see is the bells here. And then usually that guy will come forward and she'll kill these two monsters. And then she'll go towards the White FLAN. And Vinera, if you have Vinera, Vinera has a really smooth opening on this map, and we'll talk about Vinera when we get to the EX version, or the quote-unquote brutal version of this fight. But if you are looking just to bust this fight really quickly, Vinera will work as well. Tifa will work as well. And if you're looking for a template for Vinera to clear this, you can look at my Vinera brutal discussion towards the end of the video, because I do kind of want to show you guys and put it out to the community that I think we will be able to get Vinera to solo reliably the white FLAN build. I think she just needs to have her VC, and I don't have that. So hopefully someone out there in the community with the build that I'm hoping for will be able to test it. You can see this one gets a little bit closer, 4 actions left. Behemoth is kind of the same way with Tifa. She's definitely a lot slower on this, of course, because the FLAN is not Earth element. Pretty much to be expected here. Let me go ahead and let's go ahead, hop over to the Behemoth, and I won't show you Tifa, but we'll do some other units with Behemoth. If we're looking at Ifrit high difficulty and not high difficulty brutal, you can always run Ildira as well for farming the high difficulty. There's a lot of people out there who might not have Summer Elsirelle for the solo. Maybe you have more. Maybe I need to work more on my more solo. But your Ildira 99 can solo the high difficulty very easily with no problems. My Ildira literally just shreds it. I have nothing turned off on her. She just goes in and destroys things. Now, there's a couple builds that work really well for high difficulty Behemoth. Probably the 2 best are going to be Camillo and Yuna. Of course, a lot of people don't have Yuna. A lot of people don't have Camillo either, but these are kind of 2 really good options. Again, remember, you can also use Tifa with the same build in order to clear this, but I think Yuna and Camillo are just easier. I think probably... if I had to guess, I think you could probably get Cloud to do this as well. I think Cloud has some really good potential for soloing this. But I just know that Camillo works really good. Yuna is probably the safest. If you're looking to just auto AFK farm this, Yuna will literally destroy this map. Like, she shreds all of the monsters here, and she has no chance of dying. Camillo's kind of the same way. So if you're looking for just like, you know, you want to auto farm, you want to AFK, this is going to be the way to go, is one of these units for Behemoth. And of course, if you're wanting to do that on Behemoth, the reason you're doing that, right, is because it's not because you want to farm the tokens usually, it's probably because you want to farm the Ice Alcris for Purple Lightning, which makes sense. I also, if you don't have Yuna, if you don't have Camillo, Warrior of Light is also an option. And while my Warrior of Light is not fine-tuned, and he killed this with 2 turns remaining, that was a Warrior of Light with Iron Giant Esper on him, and he literally was like Sub Dragoon and just like going at it. Like, I was just like, okay, Warrior of Light, like, you do you. It was a little messy, but it did work, which was surprising. I'll show you guys the build on him. Camillo has nothing turned off. He's Sub Dragoon. Most of my units have nothing turned off, so I'll go ahead and show you here. And then I should probably show you guys, I think I did show you my Tifa, so I'll show you my Camillo here. Of course, we have Warrior Spirit, Dreadlance Mastery, Dragon's Blade set as counter, Yuna here, and Warrior of Light. My Yuna as my main clear is going to be Carbuncle. Carbuncle is the best Esper for her because Carbuncle has Dark Eater as well. So Carbuncle will go ahead and just destroy. Of course, Light Ring, Prunus Lamina, and her TMR, along with the Scion's VC for Dark Resistance, is really good. So let's go ahead and get Yuna in here. Show off some Yuna soloing. Yuna is probably one of those units where if you didn't have her 120, you could still use her to solo. If you are wanting to do like a multi of the brutal, no doubt, you know, 4 Yunas is going to be the way to go, probably. It'll be pretty easy, I think. One important note about my Yuna, one thing I found just to make this easier, is I do sub Green Mage for Imperil. I've tried it both ways. I've tried subbing, Oh my god, Kododama. I tried subbing Kododama with her, and I just like Green Mage better for this moment right here, where she'll hit multiple monsters. Kododama seems to be hit or miss. You can get Kododama to work really good, but a lot of the Kododama abilities take a lot of AP, and I found that my Yuna's AP was just getting drained so quickly that it was pretty brutal. Another great thing about Yuna is, you know, even when she runs out of AP, she will just run forward and start beating the crap out of Bahamut or Behemoth. She's just getting in there with her staff, just like, we're gonna kill you. Like, okay, Yuna. Okay, Yuna. There we go. I'll show you guys my warrior light, and then we'll get to Vinera showing off kind of what I've been working on the brutal difficulty. It's not a 100% clear with her. I just want to be really clear with that for Vinera. You can use it for high difficulty, no problem. But I will show you guys kind of what I've been theory crafting around Vinera. Here's Warrior of Light as well. The Warrior of Light build that I have for Behemoth clear. Pretty interesting. I went crit because I wanted him to crit to gain AP. So he has a lot of crit gear on him. Jump 1, First Warrior, Sub Dragoon, everything's on. Pretty much what you would expect here. Going over to Vinera though, let's talk about this because this is kind of what I've been working on. The biggest thing with Vinera, you can get bells off. The biggest problem is that she uses her limit break early in the fight, and there's no other way for me to do it without her using her limit break. She has acquired AP up, and I'll show you guys where I'm at currently. And I'll show you guys why I'm kind of struggling here. Basically, it comes down to Vinera's movements are pretty crazy to me. So if I leave her limit break on, she will use her limit break to kill an ad. If I use Poison Sting on, she will use Poison Sting to kill 2 ads. So I run into this problem where Vinera is, you know, if I leave Poison Sting on, she's gonna lose 2 turns, versus if I leave her limit break on, she's going to lose 1 turn, right? And I'll show you what I mean. I'll leave Poison Sting on here. She also will not use bells if you have Poison Sting on, is another thing. So you have to turn Poison Sting off. You also have to turn Heavenly Blade off, which is unfortunate. But if I do turn Poison Sting on, she won't use bells, so I'm gonna turn that off. But then she still needs to kill an enemy from range, which is problematic because she needs to use her limit break for that. So, and if you don't kill that enemy from range, if you try to do it like another way, she'll kind of spend 4 turns running around like a, you know, chicken with the head cut off, and it becomes really difficult to actually finish the match here. We do also have her AP generation single target resistance down, but she always runs forward, kills this guy 1 hit. Now notice I do have crit built on her because I want that crit for that extra AP here. She uses her LB to take out that ad, and now she will pop bells and go to the white FLAN, right? And this seems like an optimal situation, right? And there's a couple things that happen here. First off is that she doesn't always use her defense down ability, right? Which we want, which there it is right there, thankfully. And then the other one is she does take a turn to kill the ad. Now, if I had Heavenly Blade turned on, she would be able to kill both at once, but she would not pop bells at the beginning of the fight. So there's a couple problems here, and I'm hoping it can be resolved either by maybe using her own vision card for the crit up, potentially with the Dex plus 35%. I'm not 100% sure, so I'm kind of going to open this up for everybody else. And, you know, it's so close to Vinera being able to solo this that I wonder if there's a way for us to 100% automate it with a different vision card setup, or, you know, some type of specialty Esper setup as well. Because you can see we're getting him really low right now. We are landing, you know, and you'll notice here as well what happened towards the end. She ran out of AP because she didn't crit on her hits, right? So he's down to 20,000. I've been as low as 5,000, but really just I'm opening it up for you guys. I want to know if you think there's any good way to solo Vinera, because I think there might be. I haven't tested out Dwayne. I think Vinera is going to be better because she has the evasion. Some people had said that Dwayne would be a good idea, but I don't think Dwayne's gonna work. But maybe I'll get proven wrong. Anyway, you guys, I hope you guys like this type of video. As always, if you do want to support me, you can become a YouTube member, or you can use my affiliate link, dig.gs/coins, or you can go to dig.gs/offer, and have a great rest of your day, guys.